So today I'm gonna make for you the Beauregard, named after, I wanted to say the rich bitch out of Willy Wonka, but that just wasn't gonna go over very well, was it? Today we're going to talk a little bit about the whiskey sour, but more importantly what Virgil Cane's doing this summer. Virgil Cane's putting on a cocktail competition called the Summer of Sour. So essentially what they're asking us bartenders to do is to come up with our own variation of a whiskey sour. So what I did is I tried to base my variation off of a traditional whiskey sour. Whiskey, lemon, simple syrup, and egg whites. In the process of doing this, I got to do a little reading about the whiskey sour and found out that the whiskey sour is actually a little bit older than I thought it was. In the 1860s, Jeremy Thomas released The Bartender's Guide, which is a bartender's guide to making cocktails, and it's one of the first places that we see the whiskey sour actually written down. But what's really interesting is the whiskey sour had been being used for centuries before that. Vice Admiral Edward Vernon of England was actually the man who's really accredited with coming up with the first whiskey sour. His version of the whiskey sour was more like a punch. He would take rum and water it down and then add lemon or lime juice to give his sailors. And now what he was doing here was he was kind of knocking out two birds with one stone. The sailors had something safe to drink that wasn't salt water, but the sailors were also getting citrus into their bodies, which helped fight off scurvy. Bartenders took over from there, and they came up with this individual punch, this punch they could make for one person, and it started to become called the sour. So what I did here for this cocktail competition is I took that original sour recipe and I kind of tweaked it a little bit. Today I'm going to be using the Virgil Cane Ash Cat High Rye Whiskey that adds a nice spice to any cocktail that you want to use it for. But I started thinking about what complements spice, and sweet complements spice. So I started thinking about what kind of sweet things do we have in season right now, what kind of sweet fruits, what kind of sweet herbs, what kind of just sweet in general do we have in season that I would want to use for this cocktail, and blueberries and honey were the two things that stuck in my mind. So today I'm going to make for you the Beauregard, named after our favorite spoiled brat out of Willy Wonka.
Show pop!
It happens every time. They all become blueberries.
So this twist based off the classic cocktail really is a simple cocktail. We're gonna put all of our wet ingredients right into the shaker, shake it, strain it into the highball glass, right over ice, and we're pretty much done. So first, we're gonna start with a spoonful of blueberry preserves. We're just gonna put it right into our shaker. Next, we're gonna use about a ½ ounce of separated egg whites right into the shaker. We're gonna do an ounce of freshly squeezed lemon juice. Two ounces of our Ash Cat High Rye Bourbon from Virgil Cane. Next, we're gonna add an ounce of our honey simple syrup. We're gonna add some ice to the shaker and shake. We're gonna wanna do it for about 10-15 seconds. And you're gonna strain right over the fresh ice. Now after we have everything strained over our fresh ice, we're just gonna take a pinch of fresh ground cinnamon and sprinkle it right on top. And that's it, folks. The blueberry whiskey sour with a honey simple syrup, the Beauregard. Just another helpful tip from your friendly neighborhood bartender. I'll see you guys soon. All right, guys, and if you liked that cocktail, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook or Instagram. We'll see you guys soon. Now this honey simple syrup is extremely easy to make, just like all the rest of the simple syrups. It's a 2-to-1 rich simple syrup. So what you're gonna do is we're gonna go 2 parts honey, 1 part water. So boil a cup of water, add 2 cups of honey. Pretty simple overall.